Hi, I'm Alex Bosco.
And I'm Olivia Fuller, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily's Double Shot.
It's the last episode of the quarter, so we wanted to make sure it was extra special for you guys. We've got a piece called Cultivate, which is about a student-ran restaurant here on campus.
Also, we give you a look at some local coffee shops in Caffeinated.
All this and more on the Daily's Double Shot. I'm Alex Bosco.
I'm Olivia Fuller, and this is the Daily's Double Shot. First, Anthony Whitfield takes you inside the Cultivate kitchen. Check it out.
My name's Anthony Whitfield. I got behind the scenes at Cultivate, one of the student-run restaurants on campus. Take a look.
Man, I'm always watching the Food Network or just on Pinterest or Instagram was looking at food. So if I see something, I want to try to cook it, but just put a little twist onto it. So I don't know, everything I do, I feel like there's food involved. I'm always finding myself looking at food. A lot of people say you cook with love, you cook from the heart. A lot of the food I cook is from my family's, recipes and things like that. So every dish I try to put a little of myself in it.
I love cooking because it's something that brings people together. There's nothing I love more than having a big potluck and cooking for a bunch of people. And cooking in a restaurant is different because it's much more fast-paced. It's adrenaline, it's challenging, it's always challenging. And you can continually be creative at a place like Cultivate, which is a really cool opportunity, and I think one that keeps me coming back.
I'm just focused, man. I'm very prideful. I take a lot of pride in things I do. I don't like doing it, 50%. I'm 100% in everything I do. So every dish, I try to put all my energy into it. It deserves that. People come in, they pay, they want a good cooked meal. So why not give them what their money's worth? It's fun, it's an open restaurant, so I can sit out and watch people eat things I cook, but it brings a little joy to me, like I'm doing something right. Yeah.
I started cooking with my dad, for sure. Like, we used to have all these dinner parties all the time, and big events, like cooking for like 30, 40 people at a time. So that's when I really started cooking, and there was a culinary program at my high school that was run by a chef in Seattle here, who is an incredible chef, and that's when I really learned to cook. I like to say I learned how to cook efficiently, because cooking with my father is like, things blow up and it's not efficient, but it tastes great. So I learned how to cook efficiently and kind of restaurant style in high school with this chef.
Oh man, it can go back. My grandma, man, she just cooked every day. Like every day you wake up, she's cooking breakfast, lunch, dinner. She fed everybody. So I was always under her, just being nosy, man, just tasting food, just seeing what she was cooking. So as I got older, I started doing it more and more. I seen my grandma myself a lot, so it just came out of nowhere. One day I just decided I wanted to cook and kind of keep on that family tradition, how she did, brought the family together with food. So that's kind of my goal, is bring my family back together with cooking and kind of just spread that family feel, to everybody.
Recently we just did the smoked mussels, which I think you got a taste of. Did you get some of that? It was phenomenal. It was Pen Cove mussels. No, not Pen Cove, Deba Bay mussels, which is really cool because I also work in a hatchery. I worked at the hatchery that produced the mussels and clams that we cooked in the kitchen, which was really cool. Phenomenal taste. We just sauteed them like a classic French style, so white wine, shallots, garlic, a little bit of thyme, and then we smoked them. We had a hand smoker, which was really cool, an interesting flavor on the classic French. And it was technical, which was fun, and the plating was really nice.
But I could kind of experiment here, and try out new things, learn new things, and kind of get a little validation as far as my meals. Yeah, man, but Cultivate, it's a good opportunity for me. It's been a good platform to kind of get my name out there, you know. They're allowing me to feature my specials. It helps me, you know, promote it on my Instagram as far as a private chef, personal chef. So, you know, the UW as a whole has kind of given me a lot of opportunities to grow and to you know, just receive a lot of opportunities I think I wouldn't have a few years ago, so.
Thanks, Anthony. Next up, Kennedy Worth takes us on an inside look of UW's Holi Day Festival.
I'm Kennedy Worth, and I covered the UW Holi Festival on May 6th, so please enjoy.
Holi is actually kind of a twofold purpose. A, it celebrates a religious festival that kind of marks the triumph of good over evil. And B, it actually marks the beginning of the new crop season for several parts of our country. So even though there is a religious connotation behind it, it's definitely more cultural. The powder throwing is more culturally significant.
So how many of you guys have ever been in a color run or a life in color event? So a lot of you.
People don't really know where that comes from, and it's nice to just bring that to UW. Develop a sense of cultural awareness at UW.
Oh yeah, no. Why would you take your phone? Are you
Technically you could wear any color, but here we just like to wear white and keep it uniform, just so that when all of the powder is covering everyone, then everyone is unified in that way and there's no differences between people.
Holi is definitely one of the more wider known festivals of India, and so being able to celebrate the colors, the diversity at UW is so important for us because it really symbolizes people of all backgrounds and races, religions, ethnicities coming together to have a good time, to be one essentially. And again, the whole idea of the underlying triumph of good over evil is it's a really positive atmosphere to bring to the UW.
Thanks, Kennedy. Next, Helen takes you to some of the local coffee shops with the Caffeinated column.
Hi, my name is Helen. Recently, I've been visiting coffee shops with the Caffeinated column. Check out a few recent ones I produced.
This is Seattle Metropolitan. Welcome. This side, no animals allowed, just a regular cafe. And that side is our cat lounge and where the people hang out with the cats. We serve very good coffee and also cat themed. If you look at our menu, everything's cat themed pastry.
Can I get a 12-ounce milk?
Of course. And as you enter through a double door into our feline kingdom, we have rules on safe interaction with the cats. You know, sanitize your hand before you enter. We have a lot of structures for the cats to climb on, rest on. If they want to get away from human, they can go inside. This is where most of their toilets are, and our office and all the cleaning supplies. Some cats are taking a break in here, and people, there's one up there sleeping. They're free to go in and out. They come here if they want to rest. They go out to play with people. We have about 15 to 20 cats at once. Most of the cats are adoptable. We do have resident cats that we have adopted from ourselves that lives here permanently. All the cats are from Regional Animal Services of King County. The house cat list is over here.
No, this is not a farm. This is a cafe located between 43rd and the Ave. It is a small space with many charms. Somehow, it reminds me of my grandma's house. Whether you're taking a break from studying or wallowing in a post-midterm existential crisis, I think it's fair to say that all of us could use a relaxing trip home. At this point in the quarter, when summer break seems so close yet so far away, homesickness is stronger than ever. While its limited capacity sometimes makes it hard to find a seat, the small space adds to the intimate atmosphere. Wall decor that falls on the line between hipster and grandma aesthetic also create a vibe reminiscent of family gatherings. If you have time to take a break from studying and want a small taste of home, check out the Ugly Mug Cafe.
Thanks, Helen. Next up, our guest reporter Jane Coe produced a video on a new caramel company that Foster business students started up earlier this year.
My mom taught me the family caramel recipe over the holidays, and while I was making those caramels, I sent them out to the owner of the company I worked at over the summer, and he couldn't believe that I made these. To be completely honest, neither could I, because I'm not like the best cook, but I practiced a lot, and I made them on my own, and he was stunned that I made these caramels. And he's like, "You made these?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "No way, you did not make these." And then he was telling me that the CEO of the company kept coming into his office to take them, and I was like, "Oh wow, people really like these things." I really do believe that these caramels are delicious. They're my family's caramel, so it's like, might as well share something that I find delicious with everyone else that may like it as well. It's a good product, you know. I think that for me, from a personal level, I don't want to produce anything that I don't think is quality. We take the ingredients and we melt them down, and then you have to get them to a certain temperature. So we do this process called cold water testing. So it's an old candy making technique that my mom taught me, because a lot of candy thermometers can't tell the actual temperature. So once we cook it down, then we start pouring it into cold water, and then you can see by the consistency of the caramel how close it is to being done. And then after we get it to the right consistency, we pour it in to different pans that they're going to set in, and it sets for 24 hours. The next day we cut it up, and then we roll them and package them.
We've gotten overwhelmingly positive feedback in terms of the quality of our caramel itself, so that's what I kind of get my drive and my passion for. Just seeing your customers' response to eating your product and consuming your product and how it positively impacts their lives, I think that's what's the most gratifying part of entrepreneurship in general, is making a direct impact on the lives of others. So I think just creating a quality product that customers enjoy is what really drives both of us.
we don't have a ton of preservatives in our caramels, and so the shelf life is not as long. But I think that makes them really unique as well, because it's a really high quality product. We use like Himalayan sea salt. We use pure vanilla extract. A lot of the times when you go to a store, you can only get like chocolate covered caramel, or chocolate and nuts and caramel, and this is just caramel. Somebody else can, they like caramels, but they're so used to having a hard caramel. That's especially with the older demographic, and maybe they have like dental appliances or something like that. It could rip them out. So this is a soft caramel that's really delicious, and why not share that? I think that's a motivation for me, is a sweet treat for people. I think that's a lot of fun, and then the whole process itself it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun too.
I think what we envision for the future is really to find ways to make our production process a lot more efficient. Right now we're cooking 3 to 4 batches at a time, and if we really want to grow this company, we've had a lot of demand from like local retailers and customers themselves, so I think we need to find a way to make the process more efficient so that we can scale up and meet the demands of our customer base.
Most people that have tasted these have said they've never had a caramel like it. So for me, that it kind of makes me feel good. Like our original mission to share a product that's good with community, and we're getting that, and that's fun. We were sampling just door to door in our neighborhood, and this little girl came up and she sampled it. She was like, wow, this is really good. And her mom bought 2 boxes, and she was saying that her daughter, just the week before, had saved all her allowance money to buy a box of caramels from another company. And the little girl and the mom both were saying that these caramels were so much better. And so like seeing that little girl get excited about just a little, like a little piece of candy, that makes you happy, it feels like you're doing something good.
Thanks, Jane. Next, Rhea shows you what happened at FilNight at UW.
Every year, the students in the Filipino American Student Association at the University of Washington, known as FASA sa UW, use a theatrical production to share elements of the Filipino culture while incorporating lessons that relate to people of different backgrounds. This year's play was called In Heritage, Truth Be Told, Ako Si Blank, which translates to In Heritage, Truth Be Told, I Am Blank. It tackled the themes of colonial mentality and cultural identity.
The title itself is already a story, because the first part, in heritage, combines 2 words, inherit and heritage. And that idea that our familial histories will always be a part of our identities, no matter how hard we try.
Mark, we weren't careful enough.
The play tells the story of a Filipino man who sacrifices time with his family in the Philippines to enlist in the U.S. Navy, hoping to build a better life for them in America. As a result, his son MJ grows up hating his father, and he decides to abandon his Filipino heritage in order to fit in with American society. MJ meets 2 different groups of friends, one that will bring him back to his Filipino culture, and one that will bring him further away.
Tiffany, she was like the main mean girl, so if you were to compare it to like Mean Girls, the movie, I was Regina George. She kind of resembles assimilation. She is what the standard is, like what I guess in a broader sense, she is society, like what people expect you to be.
In addition to her role as Tiffany, Calicat also performs as a member of Sayaw, the UW's Filipino dance troupe.
Dance is a huge part of our culture, whether it's traditional, whether it's modern. Sayaw has really been FASA's main way of extending our cultural pillar beyond our campus too. So they're our face out there.
You get different perspectives from everyone. You get people that were in the Navy, you get people that had to leave the Philippines because they wanted a better life for their kids, for their families. You get a perspective of MJ, like a kid that is lost in his own identity. And I just think it hits a lot of people.
FASA sa UW used their Filipino American heritage
to tackle the themes of assimilation and finding out where one's multiple identities intersect. Basa sa UW has been present on campus since 1917, founded by Filipino immigrants whose education at UW was subsidized by the U.S. government. Now, the club continues to be a center for students of all backgrounds, especially American-born Filipinos, to find and reaffirm their cultural identity.
Thanks, Rhea. Finally, reporters Charles Johnson and myself went out to Sasquatch Music Festival over the weekend to cover local Seattle bands performing in the show. Check it out.
We get to see crazy huge artists like Alabama Shakes, and then next thing you know, we get to see bands like Taco Cat, Cosmos, and Tangerine, who are all up and coming and very local and down-to-earth new artists that are coming into the scene.
I'm Toby Kuhn. I play guitar in Tangerine. I went to Western for like a year, but that didn't work out too well. Now I'm here.
Hey, I'm Miro Justad. I'm the drummer for Tangerine, and I sing backup. I'm also Marika's little sis, and I went to Western, Seattle Central, and UW. Did it all, yeah. but didn't finish. But here I am.
What's up? I'm Marika Justad, Miro's sister. I sing and play guitar, and I graduated from UW.
There we go. That's what the people want to hear.
History major.
Yeah, majored in history. Well, we played, I mean, we're like 3 years old as a band, and we've just been playing festivals here and there, and I feel like the more we play, the more the word gets out about who we are regionally. So we played like Block Party and Bumper Shoot a couple years ago, so we were lucky enough to have this be like the next step.
Yeah.
Like South by Southwest, 3 years in a row.
Yeah, that probably helps.
Treefort twice.
Yeah, we played Treefort.
We've been putting the work in a little bit.
Yeah.
That's good.
My name is Remy, and I play drums in the band. I go to school at UW. I'm a jazz studies major, jazz musician. I just like to make music, make good music, play drums, do my best, you know, have fun out here. It's a good time.
My name is Daniel. I'm a junior at Garfield High School in Seattle. I play sax for the Garfield High School Jazz Band. But I do this on the side, and it's one of my more fun things to do with my instrument, so I really enjoy playing with Cosmos.
I'm Menno. I work at an elementary school other than this, and yeah, I just spend most of my time playing the synthesizer and hopping between drums sometimes. So, yeah.
I'm Caffeinated. I do lead vocals for Cosmos. I'm a hip-hop artist. I'm not currently in college. I dropped out of college. But I do work full-time.
My name's Pants. I produce and I play keys in Cosmos. Producing is how I originally met TJ and got into this band. But yeah. Hey, my name's Jonathan Mantello, aka Mantelope. I play the bass in Cosmos. I also play a few other instruments like guitar, some drums, still play trombone. I produce a little bit. I produced for Campana on his recent project, The Picture Notice.
Well, folks, unfortunately, that's all of the content we have for you today at the Daily's Double Shot.
And we'll be taking a break for the summer, so catch us back again in the fall.
And in the meantime, you can check us out at our YouTube channel at The Daily of UW.
Thanks for watching.